Scorpio, Scorpio. And whenever two people have similar signs, and this matters for everyone who have their ascendant, sun, or moon in Scorpio. And if you don't know what your ascendant, sun, or moon is, you can find them out by going to my website AstroLada.com, where there is a birth chart calculator, and I'm putting a direct link below this video on YouTube to the birth chart calculator. And you need to know a time of birth to find out your ascendant, sun, and moon signs. Otherwise, you'll just know the sun and moon signs. And it's been actually statistically proven that people who have planets in the same sign, for instance, mostly someone who has their sun in Scorpio, for instance, and a woman who has her moon in Scorpio, for instance, these tend to stay in the longest relationships, tend to have the most successful relationships, and tend to be married for longest. Or if a woman has her moon, for instance, in Scorpio, and the man has his ascendant in Scorpio, one of the three factors, having them in the same sign, or the man can have his sun, the woman her moon in Scorpio, the woman can have her sun in Scorpio, the man his ascendant or his moon. One of these three factors, if you have them with your partner in the same sign, these are the most one of the highest incidents of compatibility of people, statistically proven that they stay longest together. So this is very important, so make sure you find out if your partner has anything in Scorpio. If you're Scorpio yourself, the sun, the moon, the ascendant, and you're getting 10 points towards your compatibility, say out of 100. Of course, there might be something else that ruins the relationship, but overall it's a great plus towards your relationship. And how do two people who have the same signs affect each other? Say, for instance, you have your ascendant in Scorpio, and there is a person in your life who have their moon or sun in Scorpio, because the ascendant represents you and your path in life, and it's best to compare your ascendant to the sun or the moon to the other person to see how this person will impact you in your life, what is their purpose on your path of life. So if you have your ascendant in Scorpio and there is another person who has their sun or moon in Scorpio in your life, then they trigger your first house, which is the first house is the house of as I said, the path in life, the dharmic path that you're supposed to walk on, the path which your soul chose before it incarnated. Every soul makes a contract, basically, before it comes down to earth. It outlines the path it will walk on, and if the incarnated person in the process of their life veers off this path, they start feeling unhappy, they start feeling lost, they start feeling stuck. If, for instance, your path is to be a cleaner, and you go and become a banker, you just feel unfulfilled, you feel unhappy, just something will not be, you will not be feeling yourself, you will not be feeling so happy, And this is the dharmic path, so you need to go back on the path of the cleaner, for instance, or the writer, or whatever you're meant to be, that your soul wanted to come here for. Then you feel fulfilled, even if it's a less of a position, So people who trigger your first house, or someone with sun or moon in Scorpio, and if your ascendant is in Scorpio, these people can help you return back to this dharmic path. They can help you find who you are, even if they're your enemies, even if they're like someone who fires you, someone who you're in a big career or whatever, and they fire you. Actually, they're making you a favor, because with their actions they help you go back on the dharmic path you're supposed to follow. That will bring you most fulfillment. Or they can be your mother, who keeps nagging you and pushing you. You can do better, go and take this instrument, you have to play an instrument, and you really don't feel like you want to play an instrument, but a few years down the line it turns out that you start loving it, and this is a window for you which brings you to meet your future spouse, because you go to music lessons, It can be something like that. Or for instance, my partner triggered my first house, and he was the one who pushed me to become an astrologer. I was before that a waitress for many years, and I was like, oh, I'm not good enough, And the first house is the house of confidence, of believing in yourself enough to do the things that you're meant to do. So someone who triggers your first house, someone with sun or moon in Scorpio, if your ascendant is in Scorpio, will help you put you on that right path, will help you give you more confidence, will help you initiate the things that will which will make you become more of who you're supposed to be. And they can even kind of give you more enthusiasm, make you believe more in yourself, like sometimes by pushing you harder and you're resisting, sometimes by just giving you more self-belief in yourself, you know, or just by bringing enthusiasm into your life. And they can even make you more physically active. So I haven't worked out for a lot of years, and when my partner appeared in my life, triggering with all his planets my first house, with his son my first house, he'd been pushing me for 3 years to work out. I resisted, but eventually I gave in, you know. So this is kind of someone who triggers your first house can affect you. So other Scorpios can be this pushing, driving force for you to become better and more of who you're supposed to be. And the same way, check, even if it's just sun or moon, even if you're Scorpio sun and there is another Scorpio sun in your life, this person will help you somehow find your goals. You're more of the sun rules the goals, the career. They can somehow be in some direct or indirect way, they can affect you on you fulfilling your goals and you finding who you truly are, because the sun is also in your individuality, your role in life, the career often. Or if it's your moon and two people with moon in Scorpios, they can be extremely compatible to live with, because the moon shows what makes you feel comfortable, what your needs are, and how you feel most relaxed emotionally, you know, what makes you feel most safe emotionally. So this is the most important planet to check for compatibility. And you have the same moon from the same sign as another person, you're great to live together, you know, you'd understand mutually each other, you would understand quietly each other without needing even to speak to each other. You have such similar personalities, such similar emotional needs, you know, so it's really positive when you have it from the same sign. Now, if you have your ascendant, or if you have your sun and moon together in the same sign, it's the combination which brings the longest marriages and relationship, as I told you. So thank you so much, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed this.